Hello, welcome to Dungeonport Studios. This is Caprinigh here. Ark isn't with me because apparently he finds dating games boring or something. That's fine. Anyways, we're gonna be playing C14 Dating, which is an otome dating sim that combines archaeology, friendships, and love. Oh, I'm so excited about it. I just sort of started studying not archaeology, but anthropology, and I'm so excited because we play as a third year anthropology student participating in a summer archaeological internship. And I had to turn the game sound off for a second because there is I wasn't expecting to just boot the game up and then just start singing, and I wasn't sure if that would be too distracting or not. So I'll give you a moment here to listen to it, but oh, I'm excited.
In a foreign land.
I wasn't expecting that, but I'm excited and I can't wait to play. It's we're playing a game about stuff that I'm going to school for, so I'm excited about that. Anthropology is just a really interesting thing, if you ask me, and such a broad topic too. Anyways, enough about that. Let's actually start and start. Would you like to turn off mini games? You'll be unable to complete your journal. With mini games on. Yep, okay. Also, I've never played this game before. Unlike the Cactus games. You can use an alternate font and dialogue if you do not like the current one. Make your choice and then choose Start Game. Original, alternative. What's alternative? The original way better. Start. Oh yeah! Oh wait, we didn't get to choose our own name. Oh well, I don't mind. I was just probably gonna leave it with Melissa anyways. Is this it? I glanced at the map, which highlighted road names along with a star next to my destination. After comparing, I came to the conclusion this wasn't the place, but I was close. The village, Corinth, I don't know how to pronounce that, was clustered by the Meuse River, and I paused to admire the pretty garden surrounding the houses. Should I have looked up a pronunciation guide? I was awfully calm despite being over 5,000 miles from my Californian home. The reality of being in another country had yet to sink in. Up ahead, there was a clearing separated from the road by a fence. On the other side, a few tents were stationed behind a two-story building. I spotted an open chain gate with a billboard in front of the driveway. It said, Grotte de Calin entry. That's the place! Oh, let me move the cursor. Oh, she looks so pretty. I like when we get to play with people that are pretty. A familiar figure stood by the entrance. She was currently talking to a middle-aged man, but when she saw me, she gave me a cheerful wave as I ran up to her. Ooh, Sherry! With one hand on my bag handle, I exchanged a half embrace with my professor. I didn't know you already arrived. If you called me, I would have come and picked you up at the train station. You mentioned that the cave wasn't far, so I wanted to soak in the scenery and enjoy the sights. I'm glad you made it safely. Was it difficult taking the train? Nope. Well, I did try to practice my French at the ticket station until the person said that he could speak English. He pointed me in the right direction. At least you'll be able to brush up on your French. You'll find it's not too different from Spanish. You'll catch on quickly. Ooh, I took French and Spanish. French in high school and Spanish in college. I groaned inwardly. My Spanish wasn't the most fluent, but I mentioned it in my interview when discussing how I would cope with staying in Belgium without knowing French. I glanced around and turned to Sherry. Where's Paige? Didn't she say she would be arriving earlier today? Or was that tomorrow? I got an email from her yesterday saying there was a family emergency. I think I'm already messing up on her voice. She won't be able to participate this summer. I failed to hide my disappointment. Paige was the other student from my university who planned to attend this field school. We even worked out trips to do every weekend during our stay. I mustered up a weak smile. It's understandable. Can't be helped if it's family. Then it would just be me. Sherry gestured to the other person present to change the subject. Before I forget, let me introduce you to Professor Augustine DuPont, Chief Archaeologist of Kalin Cave. I eagerly extended my arm for a handshake. Everything I heard about Mr. DuPont was from Sherry, and she'd mentioned that he was a revered Belgian archaeologist. It's an honor to meet you. I'm Melissa Flores, a junior. I look forward to seeing Sherry's students every summer. It's a pleasure to meet you. Mr. DuPont spoke with a heavy French accent, but I had no trouble comprehending him. Have you gone over everything with Sherry? When the students from Liège arrive tonight, they'll get their first lecture before dinner. Yes, I'll still attend a lecture though. If I was going to be submerged in the language, I might as well start by hanging out with the local students. Mr. Dupont eyed my suitcase. It must have been a tiring trip. Come, we will show you around the back. Students will be spending the weekdays there. Here. We reached a clearing and I spotted the same tent. Most clustered around the perimeter against the bushes and a few were closer to the building. Ah! Feel free to pick one. These are for the students who don't own their own tents or air mattresses, or couldn't bring them. The chief archaeologist gave a nod, then excused himself. He probably had other matters to attend to before the students arrived. I studied the tents next to the building and thought about my phone, which was still in airplane mode. How's the Wi-Fi here? If you stay in that tent, you might get Wi-Fi. It doesn't extend much here in the back. If you brought a laptop, you can leave it in the laboratory. It's been done before. Everything gets locked up at night though, for safekeeping. Fair enough, at least I can keep in touch with my parents. Once you've finished, come back to the front and we'll give you a tour. Will we get to see the cave today? It's already locked, so you'll have to wait until morning. And the anticipation builds. I thanked her and started unpacking. There was already a mattress, pillow, and sleeping bag in place. It only took a few moments to settle in. Ooh! Done! Grabbing a small storage bag, I zipped my tent and hurried over to the front of the building. Anyway, here's the main entrance. This will take you to the... She opened the door and my eyes widened when I saw display after display. So it was a museum! Oh, cool! That is so cool. Oh. And a remarkably tiny one. After one loop, I was already back to the entrance. I wanted to examine the displays more, but figured I'd have more free time later. I'd hope so. Sherry and I ascended the stairs by the entrance. This room is more of a multi-purpose room. It can be used for lectures, and it's where findings are cleaned if the weather isn't suitable outside. I cradled a storage bag, wondering how to bring up the question. Fortunately, Sherry noticed. Something important there? The extra insulin I won't be using yet. It needs to avoid extreme temperatures. Is there somewhere safe I can store it? We're diabetic! Ah, cool! Wasn't expecting that. Oh, of course. Thank you for reminding me. Feel free to use the indoor kitchen since it's restricted to staff members. Augustine has granted you access since he knows you're a diabetic. She led me to the back, giving me a chance to store the insulin bottles in the fridge. And to conclude the tour, this is the lab. This is where most of the research takes place. How many students will be here? It varies. There can be as many as 40 or as few as 20. Students from Liège are required to devote at least 4 weeks working at an archaeological site, regardless of their major. Therefore, we may get a lot of music and art students too. Oh, cool! The other students should be arriving soon. How's the jet lag? Not bad so far. A little fatigued, but nothing else. I'm going to be up all night, aren't I? Worst case scenario, I'll give you an extra day to prepare yourself for the dig. You have reviewed the material I've given you, right? Yes, I've looked at it. Is there anything else you'd like to go over? It has been a month since my last lecture. Inquire about I hope we get a chance to click on everything. Inquire about the cave. Can you remind me about the site again? I know it's famous for discovering the remains of a Neanderthal dating back to 125,000 years ago. Correct. The site has established 2 Neanderthal occupations from different times. This is mainly a Middle Paleolithic site with sediments ranging from 300,000 years old to as recent as 4,000 years old. Nice. I can't wait to discover a tooth or something. If you do, it'll likely belong to a cave bear. Cave bear? Are those remains found often? Yes, 99% of all fauna, animal remains collected are cave bear. Even so, I'm sure that's something. Not many people can say they dug up cave bear. Okay. Remember, we already clicked on that one. How long have you been part of the team? Me? I started working with Augustine about 10 years ago. We go way back. That's how I established the Callan. I really need to probably look up a pronunciation guide. Internship. Our university has developed a reputation for bringing over exceptional students. And it's just me this year. I hope I'm able to live up to expectation. Oh, yeah. I'm sure you'll do fine. How long you... Okay, go over to... What's the schedule exactly? How long does the dig go till? It's ongoing until the end of August. And you'll be leaving at the end of next month, was it? Right on a Saturday. I know only 4 weeks are required for the field school, but I thought I'll learn more if I stayed for 8. Dates aside, breakfast is served in the morning at 7:30. Cave and lab activities go from 8 to noon, and then there's an hour for lunch. Activities resume from 1 to 5. Dinner starts at 7. Hope we don't have to remember all that. On the weekends, both students and the excavation team leave for home. The cave and museum are locked up during this time. On weekends, but I don't think we'll be able to go home on weekends. The back of the building will be accessible to you, of course. And if you'd prefer, you can sleep on the second floor if you don't like the idea of sleeping outside alone. I'm so scared of the dark, I don't think I'd like camping all by myself. Again, I'm sorry it's just you. I usually get more students than this. I'll be okay on my own, promise. Go over field school grading system. I'd like to go over the grading system one more time. Did you bring a journal? I sure did. Essentially, I'll be grading you on your performances both in the cave and working at the lab. I'd like you to record your findings and experiences in the journal. I expect it to be turned in every Friday evening, and I'll give it back the following Monday. If you're sick, you're allowed to miss some days. I won't deduct marks for that. However, there's no excuse for playing truant. Don't forget to take breaks often while you excavate in the cave. There's a risk of getting hypoxia due to less oxygen. Isn't that what happened to Elastigirl in the second Incredibles movie? While she was in that plane? I'm not just marking your academics. I'll also be seeing how often you volunteer. Volunteer? Yes, students use the outdoor kitchen and are in charge of preparing the meals, along with the cleanup that follows. I don't expect you to volunteer all the time, since that does cut into your excavation and lab time, but once in a while is ideal. Ask about Augustine. Is Augustine easy to get along with? He seems friendly. He is for the most part, but he's like an overprotective father when it comes to the cave. He's been supervising it for over 2 decades and is the leading expert. It's his baby. Aww. I'll be helping you, of course, and as far as I'm concerned, you're my student, not his. Any problems that come up, I'll discuss with you personally. I meekly nodded, although now I was worried about making a mistake. After all, this was new to me. Okay, one more. Neanderthal or Neanderthal? I noticed in all your lectures you use Neanderthal. I've always heard it as Neanderthal. Is it a preference? My nose has something to do with German, which is says right there. A preference, and there's no H sound when it's pronounced in French and German. It's something that I picked up when I started working in Europe. However, both are accepted spellings in academic journals. Here, it'll be referred to as Neanderthal. Right, Neanderthal it is. And that's all. Oh, I lost my cursor for a second. I think I'm good for now. Great. However, if any new questions come up, feel free to ask. We heard activity outside, complete with loud voices and footsteps on the gravel. It sounds like the students from Liege are here. Augustine will start the lecture soon. Huh? No chance to unpack or get ready or anything like that? No, all of the students were given instructions on when to arrive. Punctuality is valued greatly here. I think I just forgot what I just read already. Man, my memory is terrible. He'll lecture now, and the students will settle in after. I'll be on my way. Woo, people! Some students stood, while others sat on the stone tiles in front of the building. A few leaned against their luggage, but they all formed a semicircle around Augustine. There were about 30 faces, and I wondered how the camping grounds would contain them all. They fell silent. Augustine began to speak. Although I picked up keywords such as archaeology, grot, and sediment, much of it was lost on me. He repeated care a lot too. However, his gestures were vibrant, and I sensed the passion behind his voice. It got me looking forward to excavating tomorrow. Oh, I almost forgot that. We probably won't be understanding a lot of people already. Cool. Schedule. I think I will stop it for right here for now, since we have like a schedule. Time to do a schedule. And I'll do that next. Well, this is Caprinigh signing off. Bye bye.